AITA for making our children wear our cultural attire in our home? My husband and I are originally from India, but we moved to London after we got married. We have 3 children, 17F, 15 meters, 11F, who we like to keep connected to their culture. While we may be British citizens, we maintain our heritage. We also have a lot of family in India who we visit at least every year. One rule we have is that in our home, we wear traditional Indian clothing. I don't think there is anything wrong with wanting to dress like our culture. My oldest daughter doesn't enjoy this rule. She claims to prefer pants and doesn't like dresses, which she has to wear in the house. We let them dress Western for school and outside with friends, but they have to dress Indian in our home. Our youngest daughter has been complaining about this rule. She and the oldest have been saying it's sexist to make them wear Indian dresses in the house. But women only wear dresses in many cultures, so I don't see the problem. Our son has also caught them dressing Western when we aren't there, so they've started to be distant from each other. At this point I'm worried we're creating too much friction with them. I'm a teacher and I have seen many kids like this who end up completely messed up. Kids who don't want to wear a hijab or turban but are forced to and eventually end up rebelling. Hard. I see your point about wanting to keep your heritage, but that's yours, not theirs. Having been born and bred here, they probably identify strongly as British. And by forcing them to wear things because you want to protect your Indian identity, you are inadvertently sacrificing theirs. I'm guessing they have a uniform at school, and you have given them a uniform at home too. When do they get their autonomy and freedom to express themselves? They are telling you they are uncomfortable but you don't care. YTA feels a bit harsh because I kind of get where you are coming from, but I think that you are pushing this too hard. Self-identify means a lot to teens and you are taking this away from them. Is this really the hill you want to die on? Is Indian clothing more important to you than a positive relationship with your children? I feel this could be a point of estrangement in the future. YTA, you'll just make them reject the culture and it will turn your daughters against your son as well if he's ratting them out. YTA, even Indians in India don't dress in Indian clothes every day. Indian who used to live in India. YTA, enforcing rules like this is going to push them away from your culture and ingrain a dislike for it. Nothing wrong with you wanting them to connect and know their culture, but there has to be better ways to do it than this. YTA, forcing teenagers to dress the way you want them to is not going to connect them to your culture. It's going to push them away and make them resent their culture. Instead of being interested and genuinely care about their culture, you're making sure that they see it as something oppressive that was forced on them. Do you really think they are going to continue it as soon as they leave home? No. Because of the way you have handled it, you'll regret it if you continue down this route. YTA, if your son is taking sides against his sisters, there's something more than culture going on. Trying to minimize why you're allowing one child to have the power to lord it over on others isn't culture. It's an excuse for bad parenting. YTA, all you are doing is instilling a hatred of that clothing in them. My immigrant parents never forced me to wear salwar kameez at home. It was instead something we'd get as special gifts, some casual, some fancy. Not being forced and hearing mom talk about the styles and what she wore when she was younger made it's something nice to wear when people visited or there were parties. Not a prison uniform. Bro, I'm an Indian living in India. Even we don't wear cultural attire or Indian dresses within the house. What even is that? Suits? That's just inconvenient. I'm lying on my bed wearing PJs right now. There are better ways to remain connected to our culture. That's just weird and also counterproductive. YTA. YTA. Why are clothes the pinpointing factor to staying connected to your culture? There are plenty of avenues which bring opportunities to teach your children such rich knowledge, which can bond you together as a family, yet you choose to make it such a fractured negative experience, all because of appearance. Passing down culture shouldn't be about forcing the new generation to stick to outdated rules. Edit. Typo. YTA. I'm from India, and even Indians in India don't wear traditional clothes all the time at home or outside while simultaneously still honoring our culture. This is a weird rule to have. You can instead have them enjoy Indian foods, festivals, literature, etc. instead of making up some sexist rule of wearing Indian dresses at home. This will not only make them enjoy their culture more, but will also give them the freedom of choice in wearing what they want. YTA. All you're doing by forcing your children to wear traditional clothing in your home is making them dislike their heritage. YTA. Our son has caught them dressing Western when we aren't there, beyond the obvious misogyny of forcing your girls to wear dresses. It's very sad to see you weaponize your son as some sort police character. This post is brimming with sexism. I feel like it's very clear that forcing this culture on them isn't bringing them happiness and connectivity. It's breeding resentment. There are other ways to bring positivity concerning culture in a home: cuisine, language, stories, fun traditions, quality time with extended family, travel to places you are connected to. Let's be honest here. Which do you value more? Your daughter's happiness and security because you respect their autonomy, or the ability to force them to dress in a way that makes you feel they're connected to your culture? YTA. Even Indians don't wear traditional Indian clothing at home, especially the younger generation. They can still be very much in touch with their culture and heritage without being forced to wear certain clothing. Why don't you let them wear Indian men's wear? That way they can wear pants and be connected to their culture. Info. What are the important aspects of your culture? Food? Caring for elders? Religion? Or patriarchal supremacy? Female obedience? Choose very carefully. YTA. I'd find other ways for your kids to stay connected to your culture. I am not a dress lover and would be in hell having to wear one at home where I'm supposed to be comfortable. There are a lot of traditions in every culture that don't revolve around clothing. Or find ways to incorporate traditional with Western styles. Let them find ways too. It doesn't have to be all or none. YTA. It's a weird rule, even though I understand wanting to stay in touch with your culture. But it's not okay to force it like that, and numerous examples show that it often turns out the opposite. I guess to me it's like my grandmother used to tell her sons, I can't give you faith. You'll have to find faith yourself. YTA. Culture appreciation is not about clothing. Making your children dress in something they're not comfortable in is not okay. They're not dolls. Also, stop raising your son to think he has the right to have an opinion on what his sisters wear. YTA. You're not celebrating anything. You're enforcing misogynistic rules on your children and will make them hate their culture. Not celebrate it, because they aren't men. They're girls. This reply in the comments is all you really have to say. And worse, you've taught your son to be a sexist as well and have driven a wedge between him and his sisters. Congratulations. You have destroyed what could have been a lifelong loving relation between siblings. Yeah, YTA. Don't think you're going to get the result you intend, assuming you want your children to adopt this clothing out of choice.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.